Hi, I'm Tamika.
I'm Tan.
I'm Courtney.
And welcome to Our Talk.
Today we're going to focus on attitude and how important it is to make sure your attitude is in check. And not only to make sure that it's in check, but to make sure that you're conscious of how other people may be perceiving your attitude. We are going to show a quick skit so that you kind of get the flavor of what we mean by having your attitude in check and how much your attitude can impact the outcome of a situation. What you're about to see is an interaction between an OT student and her instructor, and maybe how she could have done some things differently as far as her approach went, and you'll see how that could have influenced what she got at the end. So check it out. Hey, did you already turn in your assignment?
Girl, no. I've been having all kinds of computer problems. I have not been able to get out.
So what are you going to do?
I'm just going in and talk to Dr. Cobb and see if I can turn it in later. What you gonna do?
I really ain't even trying to talk to her. I mean, I'm just going to go in here and give it to her, and, you know, she just going to take it. That's just my attitude about it.
That's the way you're going to approach it?
I mean, I'm going to go in here and let her know, hey, you know, it's late, but at least I'm turning it in, so, you know, whatever.
Well, good luck. I've been after you.
I don't know if I need love.
Hey, Tan.
Hey, Dr. Cobb. I see you grading papers already.
How can I help you?
I need to give you this.
What is that?
The assignments you asked for.
The assignment that was due yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least I'm turning it in, right?
So you expect me to grade your paper with that kind of attitude?
I don't have attitude.
And what do you call it?
Me giving you my paper?
Well, how about you walking back out that door and probably coming in here differently than maybe I consider grading your paper?
Dr. Cobb, I'm an adult.
So you're an adult and you knew it was due yesterday, so you should have turned it in on time.
Why can't you just take it?
I can take it, but I'm not going to grade it.
Why can't you?
If it's going to make you feel better for me to take your
Why
paper
can't
and
you
put
grade
it right
it?
here on this
I
map,
don't have an attitude.
what do you call it? All this body language and that you giving me, that's an
I mean,
attitude.
what you mean? This just me coming in here giving you my paper.
Well, why I got all this frowning up here?
I mean,
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm not frowning, number one. Number two, I don't have an attitude. And number three, I just don't understand why you can't just take my assignment and grade it like you're doing everybody else's.
Probably because it's 10 other students in this class that turned their assignment in on time.
I mean, you could take a few points off just because I'm a few
You can't tell
hours
me
late.
what I can do to your paper when I gave you the assignment 2 weeks ago, Tan.
But to me, you have an attitude.
No, I
as
don't.
soon as I came in, you
No.
gave me an attitude.
You came in
Dr.
and
Cobb.
said, hey, Tan.
With an attitude.
No.
Yes.
No, ma'am.
With an attitude.
No.
Thank you.
Okay.
I hope that was an attitude.
It's not attitude, but your grades will reflect that this
Have a good
assignment
day,
is
Dr.
not.
Cobb.
Okay.
Without an attitude.
Okay.
Girl, I was this close to knocking you out.
I think that your attitude had you this close from getting knocked out.
My attitude. But Tam, when you came into that classroom, you had it already made up in your mind that I was gonna accept that paper. Did you not?
I did.
Okay, but did I accept it?
And since I had attitude, well, since you say I had attitude, I felt like you had one.
I did.
No, I felt like you had one initially.
No, I didn't. You felt like that because you came in there with an attitude.
And that goes back to the way how you perceive things.
Right.
If
Right.
you yourself have this perception of a certain attitude,
Right.
then you think that other people are giving it back to you. In actuality, they're not. Because Tamika spoke to you. You just came and stood and
Gave me the
yeah,
emotion.
right.
Hit a paper and
Hostile and didn't speak. That's why I said at the beginning, I think it's really, really important to make sure you have your own attitude in check. Because if you don't have your own in check, I can't check you on yours and mine jacked up. You know what I mean? And so if I have an attitude, it's going to automatically allow me to perceive you as having one. So I think that's an important piece to keep in mind. Also, you see the fact that I had an attitude, thought you had one, and I didn't even get the results that I thought I was going to get at the end. It didn't work in my favor at all.
I
Still,
will give you 1 point.
right, dead end now. Because I had an attitude.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, even though there was a skit, we were kidding, people really are like that.
Right.
Some people really, or even worse.
Right.
You know, so it's like, wow, people really need to know what having that kind of attitude, how it won't help them in the long run. Not just
It's
in OT
important
school,
now
but
for us
like
to check our attitude while we're in school so it will not carry out into
the workforce.
And I think, in extension of all that, not only do you need to know how to recognize when you may be coming off as having an attitude, I think it's important to know how to deal with somebody else when they have one. Because it's really still going to be a dead end street if I have an attitude and that makes you have one as well. So I need to know how, you need to know how to neutralize the other person so that it doesn't escalate into something that's not going to be beneficial for either party.
But do you
Well-
feel like I have to? I mean, if you come to me with an attitude, you feel like I have to make adjustments because of your attitude. I don't have to deal with it.
I think, personally, in my opinion, I think it's a little bit more proactive to try to neutralize the other person so that you'll get them to kind of be on the same page as you. That's just what I think.
But what if that doesn't work?
Then you do need to get out of the situation because it'll just turn ugly.
Well, I have a question for y'all. So, us being students, we come into contact with teachers, with other students, with other personnel who work for the university, who can sometimes have that negative attitude. What do you do as a student to, like you were saying, neutralize? How do you do that? The situation.
Sometimes you have to say, okay, this person having a bad day today,
Exactly.
and just leave them alone. But if they have an attitude every day, then I think that maybe it does need to be addressed. Maybe not by me, but maybe another faculty.
I just think, in agreement with what Tamika just said, is it takes a conscientious effort to deal with somebody who you feel is coming off as though they have a bad attitude. Because a lot of times you may be perceiving something right off that may not be, what it is.
Right.
Just like she said, they could be having a bad day. And I think we all need to give each other some grace and say, maybe Tamika's having a bad day. Maybe Courtney was having a bad day. And maybe I need to see what I can do to just try to make the situation a little bit better before it gets a little bit worse. Because we all have those days.
We do.
And that we may just automatically come in here with an attitude.
Yeah, sometimes we have to reevaluate ourselves.
Yeah. Have to do that a lot.
Right. And I don't think that it's an easy process to reevaluate yourself because a lot of us, and I'm going to say us, a lot of us don't like the truth about ourselves sometimes when it comes to us. So I think it takes a mature person to say, this is me and I did have an attitude and I do need to check it so that I get the results I want at the end. And so it'll be a pleasurable experience for everybody that I come into contact with. Because just like you said, or whoever said it, that, having a positive attitude is going to make a really, really big impact on your interaction with your patients, with your coworkers, or with whomever you come into contact with, because that's going to speak volumes about your character. So I just think it's important to know those things, know how to deal with attitudes as they, different attitudes as you come across them. And I just think it'll be more successful that way. We have another clip that shows how a different student interacted with the same instructor in pretty much the same situation, but she handled it a lot different. Attitude was a lot better, and she got different results. So check it out.
Cobb.
Hey, Courtney, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. How can I help you today?
Can I talk to you before class starts?
Yeah.
I know the assignment, the paper was due yesterday, but I've been having some problems with my computer. You know that virus that's going around that's erasing everything? And I know I shouldn't have waited till last night to try to print it, but I did, and my paper is gone. So
Yeah.
can I please turn it in tomorrow?
Did the virus wipe out your whole drive?
Yes, ma'am.
It did.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure, just start it in tomorrow. 8
Okay.
o'clock, okay?
Thank you
That'll
so
be fine.
much.
You're
Okay.
welcome. You're welcome.
See you later.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
You too.
Now, Tam, you need to take some lessons from Courtney on how to approach.
Let me get my little notebook.
Wasn't I pleasant and nice and so sweet?
You are, and you can definitely see the differences in attitude and the differences in outcome.
So, yep. Came in there with that smile, you been giving me on neck and here, and this what I supposed to do. You're the student. Oh my God.
And you take responsibility up front.
Right.
For knowing that even though something bad happened and something maybe that was out of your control, you still let the instructor or whoever know. I know that it was my fault, and I would like to make it better. So,
Right.
Sometimes as students, I don't want to, I don't know if they're afraid, or sometimes it's better to let the professors know that we do have something going on. You know, instead of taking everything to our own hands and just see how that works.
yeah.
I think that it's important to kind of know what, attitude is. I think that, it has a lot to do with your perception. If I had to associate one word with attitude, it would be perception. And that relates to how I perceive myself, because how I perceive myself up here is gonna translate into what kind of attitude I have, whether it be finger snapping attitude or whether my attitude is for me to say, is for me to approach everything in a positive light. So I think attitude is very, very much tied to perception. And I think that once you get your perception about any situation in line with, a positive foundation, I think you can expect positive results.
I agree.
You get what you perceive. Just like I perceived you to have an attitude, and you didn't. Looking back at the clip, you didn't have an attitude. That's what I perceived, and that's what I put out because I perceived it. So I think it's important to take a step back, really assess the situation, and then go at it again. Do a no harm, no foul approach. So if you mess up the first time, reevaluate it, and then try to get different outcomes. Tying it back to the OT process. So remember these 3 A's before you make a decision about any situation. Assess,
Adjust your attitude if you need to.
And allow for change.
so you heard it, assess, adjust, allow, and I promise you'll get a positive outcome at the end.
See y'all later. Bye. Deuces.
Dr. Davis, we really appreciate you for taking time out of your day to come give advice and share a couple of different techniques with us and to our audience. We did want to give you a special token of appreciation, just to let you know how much we have been just blessed to be in your presence and just to have a relationship with you throughout this whole occupational therapy program, and for you to be on our show. So,
Thank you very much.
no problem.
On behalf of Tan, Courtney, and myself, we would like to present these flowers to you for being our support system here at Alabama State University. And we love you so much.
We do.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, and I love you ladies too. Thank you.
All right. Don't forget to check out the other links on our site to hook up with other African American students who are in different occupational therapy programs. Check the link for nbotc.org. That's the National Black Occupational Therapy Caucus. Check out the outtakes for this episode, and don't forget to share your different experiences with us about how you use some of these techniques to get through your day, get through your program, and just to interact with friends and classmates.
And
So
you can either contact us on our webpage or our Facebook page.
So stress-free way to be. Peace.
Deuces.